Welcome all to Chapter 5X of my Fire Emblem 8 0% Gross low turn count playthrough. Chapter 5X is a pretty interesting chapter. There are also a few oddities about it, including what's up with the name Chapter 5X. We had Chapter 5 last time, shouldn't it be Chapter 6? Also, what's up with this new group of faces? What happened to Erica and her party? Both of these can be explained by the fact that this chapter is considered kind of a Gaiden chapter, as most other games call it. There are very few Gaiden chapters in this game. In fact, this is the only one. This is the only chapter with an X in its name. So there's really no need to worry about it all too much. It just indicates that this is a side story chapter happening alongside the main campaign of Erica, featuring Ephraim and his friends attempt to seize his castle. However, in order to seize this castle quickly enough, we need to rely on a few rescue chains to get our paladin Orson forward a few extra tiles. On turn 1, we rescue jobbed Ford, one of our cavaliers, forward, since he had a less than optimal starting position, and now our 2 cavaliers rescue jobbed Orson forward on this turn, so that he is further advanced in this map than would otherwise be possible if he was just walking by himself to the throne. And as the Syrin's Forest post explains, this saves an entire turn than what would normally be possible. As for the actual units we have in this chapter, the first one is Ephraim. He's the brother of Erica, so he's a lord as well. He needs to seize the throne in this chapter, and also if you choose his route after chapter 8, he will be your lord for that entire rest of the game. Since we are going Ephraim route, he will be our lord for that entire part of the game, and so he will be pretty important. He's a lot better than Erica as well. His stats are just a straight upgrade, and lances, he uses lances, and those tend to be better than swords. He's just generally a pretty good combat unit, even when compared to Erica's main party, and especially in this chapter. So he'll be in a pretty essential part of the game, although his bulk is kind of lacking, as we'll see soon enough. Then there is Orson, the paladin. He is carrying this chapter really hard. However, it's quite unfortunate because he is only playable in this chapter, and he will not be playable for the rest of the game. So his contributions to this playthrough are limited to this chapter. However, they're still pretty important indeed. Then there are the 2 cavaliers, Ford and Kyle. They're essentially the same. One is slightly faster and one is slightly stronger, but statistically speaking, they can basically perform the same task, and they're both better than Franz, which means that they are our 2 candidates for promotion with the first Knight Crest. As for which one actually gets that first Knight Crest, the answer is Ford, because he is closer to promotion, since he is level 6, or he started at level 6, compared to Kyle, who started at level 5. So that means that he's going to get a promotion, and he's going to be pretty important, although both of the Cavaliers will be quite important players throughout the entire game, since, 7 mounted utilities pretty important. Then there's this enemy phase. It's a pretty precarious one. Ephraim takes damage a good amount, and he doesn't have too much HP to sponge the hits. However, he needs to kill all these enemies, since otherwise his path to the throne is blocked. So as a result, he basically needs to rely on dodging in order to deal with all these enemies, and that's kind of problematic because there's this fighter who does a lot of damage and has weapon triangle advantage. So we basically need to dodge everyone else in order to have a good chance of success, or have a chance to seize rather. Then there are a few other side objectives. There are 2 chests which contain pretty nice items, a killer lance, which most of our units can use, and an elixir. Both of those would have been pretty handy, but we would have had to spend a turn to get them, so it's really not worth it. We got Ford a lot of experience in this map, kind of like Ross. It's a pretty tight squeeze to get him to promote in time, however it's still manageable. Meanwhile, Orson can just 1-round KO this boss cleanly. Since Orson is leaving, we had to kind of transfer his inventory to our other units so that we don't lose it, so we make sure to do that. And that's Chapter 5X completed in 6 turns. I'll see you guys for Chapter 6.